So I thought I'd do a quick informal video on the 1960 MGA that my friend is building here in my shop. So his intention is that he wants a car that looks pretty much like a race car that he dug out of a barn somewhere and put it back on the road. So he's got that cut down windshield, and he put a set of quick jacks on the front of it, and he will be putting some on the back as well. Now the quick jacks are not mounted in such a way that we can actually lift the car with them. They're just there for show. Then he bought these old school fog lights, and I built him a few brackets for him to hold them onto the car. Now this is intended to be a simple build that he's not putting a lot of money in at this point in time. Now later on he plans on pulling it apart and actually properly cleaning the car up and putting nice paint and making a nice car out of it. But for now, the car was just stripped to bare metal, a couple patches let into the fenders, and then primed with zero body work. So it's showing all of its scars, like some old damage here from the past, and a repair job done sometime long before he bought it. Now the engine that we put in it is a 5-main 1800 from a 1978 MGB. It's 30 over and balanced, has a D9 grind cam in it. The backing plate that's on it is my old aluminum one that I built for my autocrosser many years ago and ran it for a long time before I did a 5-speed swap on mine. And it also has my old 17-pound flywheel. The head is a small chamber head that originally came off his 74B that he did some mild porting to. So the thing ought to run pretty good. Probably give him 105, 110 horsepower, which in this car ought to give sprightly performance. In the theme of keeping it simple, and he's working with a lot of parts that he already has or is buying off eBay relatively cheaply. So he bought the full gauge set off of eBay, and the radio and the steering wheel are from a parts pile that he bought several years back. Now the adapter on that's actually for an early B, but it does fit an A. It just doesn't look quite right. Now, since he put in a 5-main bearing engine, we also put in the late transmission from a B, the full synchro transmission, because he does plan on running it hard and he doesn't want to break third gear as the early transmissions tend to do. But in order to make it work, we did have to do some minor modifications to the transmission tunnel, such as that bump on the side there. There's another bump on the other side. Had moved the shifter hole forward, and then we cut the shifter down to clear the gauge, the extra gauges he has hanging down from the dash. Right now, all the body stuff is just mocked up. Nothing's permanently in place, and we haven't permanently welded the rockers in yet. But I put lower patches in the dog legs here and in the lower fender, and they're just finished off metalwork and then primed with no body work. If you're interested in seeing more of this car as we continue to work on it and get it together, just let us know, and we'll keep filming some bits and pieces on it.